Esther chapter 5. On the third day, Esther put on her royal robes and stood in the inner court of the palace in front of the king's hall. The king was sitting on his royal throne in the hall facing the entrance.
Yes.
When he saw Queen Esther standing in the court, he was pleased with her, and held out to her the gold scepter that was in his hand. So Esther approached and touched the tip of the scepter. Then the king asked, "What is it, Queen Esther? What is your request? Even up to half the kingdom it will be given you." "If it pleases the king," replied Esther, "let the king, together with Haman, come today to a banquet I have prepared for him." "Bring Haman at once," the king said, "so that we may do what Esther asks." So the king and Haman went to the banquet Esther had prepared. As they were drinking wine, the king again asked Esther, "Now what is your petition? It will be given you. And what is your request? Even up to half the kingdom it will be granted." Esther replied, "My petition and my request is this. If the king regards me with favor, and if it pleases the king to grant my petition and fulfill my request, let the king and Haman come tomorrow to the banquet I will prepare for them. Then I will answer the king's question." Haman went out that day, happy and in high spirits. But when he saw Mordecai at the king's gate and observed that he neither rose nor showed fear in his presence, he was filled with rage against Mordecai. Nevertheless, Haman restrained himself and went home. Calling together his friends and Zeresh his wife, Haman boasted to them about his vast wealth, his many sons, and all the ways the king had honored him, and how he had elevated him above the other nobles and officials. "And that's not all," Haman added. "I'm the only person Queen Esther invited to accompany the king to the banquet she gave. And she has invited me along with the king tomorrow. But all this gives me no satisfaction, as long as I see that Jew Mordecai sitting at the king's gate." His wife, Zeresh, and all his friends said to him, "Have a pole set up, reaching to a height of 50 cubits, and ask the king in the morning to have Mordecai impaled on it. Then go with the king to the banquet and enjoy yourself." This suggestion delighted Haman, and he had the poles set up.
Yes. Matthew chapter 20. For the kingdom of heaven is like a landowner who went out early in the morning to hire workers for his vineyard. He agreed to pay the denarius for the day and sent into the vineyard. About 9 in the morning, he went out and saw others standing in the marketplace doing nothing. He told them, "You also can work in the vineyard, and I will pay you whatever is right." So they went. He went out again about noon and about 3 in the afternoon and did the same thing. About 5 in the afternoon, and he went out and found still others standing around. He asked them, "Why do you been have here all day long doing nothing?" "Because no one has heard us," they answered. He said to them, "You also go and work in my vineyard." When evening came, the owner of the vineyard and said to his foreman, "Call the workers and pay them their wages, beginning with the last one and hired going the first." The workers who were hired about 5 in the afternoon they came and each received the denarius. So when those came who were hired first, they expect to receive more, but each one of them also received a denarius. When they received it, they began to grumble against the landowner. "Only these who were hired last worked only 1 hour," and they said, "and you have made them equal to us, who has borne the burden of the work and the heat of the day." But he answered one of them, "I'm not being unfair to you, friend. Did you agree to work from the denarius? Take pay and go. I want to give the one who was hired the last the same I give you. Thus I have the right to do what I want with my own money, or are you the envious because I am generous? So the last will be first, and the first will be last." Now Jesus was going up to Jerusalem. On the way, he took 12 aside and said to them, "We are going up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be delivered over the chief priests and the teachers of the law. They will condemn him to death and will hand him over to the Gentiles to be mocked and flogged and crucified on the third day he will be raised to life. Then the mother of Zebedee's son came to Jesus with the sons and kneeling down, asked a favor of him. What is it you want? He asked. He said, grant that one of these two sons of mine may sit at your right, the other at your left in the kingdom. You don't know, why are you asking? Jesus said to them, can you drink the cup I am going to drink? We can, they answered. Jesus said to them, you will indeed drink from my cup, but you sit at my right or left is not for me to grant. These places belong to those who, when they has been fed from my Father. When the ten heard about this, they were indignant with the two brothers. Jesus called them together and said, you are the know the rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and the high official exercise authority over them. Not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be your slave, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many. As Jesus and disciples were leaving Jericho, and crowd followed him, the two blind men were sitting at the roadside, and when they heard that Jesus was going by, they shout, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us. The crowd rebuked them and told them to be quiet. But they shout all louder, Lord, Son of David, have mercy on us. Jesus called and stopped them and called them. What do you want me to do for you? He asked. Lord, they answered, we want our sight. Jesus has compassion on them, touched their eyes. Immediately they received sight and followed him.